The dawn of a new century brought new challenges as DCHA entered its third decade of service. They took legal action against the DC government over disproportionate share hospital payments and won a $30 million judgment.
It was a time when DCHA and its hospitals came together and said, wait a minute, disproportionate share is a congressional action that's aimed at helping hospitals who take care of a disproportionate share of low-income or no-income people. And so DCHA pushed the government to look at disproportionate share in a way that didn't penalize those hospitals that were operating efficiently but taking care of a very large number of disproportionately low-income patients.
George Washington University Hospital dedicated a new facility, the first new hospital to open here in more than 25 years. But the hospital industry also suffered setbacks. Two of DCHA's founding members and most storied institutions faced insurmountable financial difficulties and were forced to close. DC General ceased operations in 2001, and Columbia Hospital for Women closed in 2002.
Well, the closure of DC General was a very challenging time for hospitals, but more importantly, it was a very challenging time for patients, particularly patients without resources.
While that critical care was good, in the aggregate overall, DC General was not a viable entity, was not providing across the spectrum of healthcare for a hospital the health care that our citizens needed, and in any event, on an economic basis, was hemorrhaging money. And yours truly, in conjunction with the control board at the time, decided that it was a better spend for our critical health care dollars. And so we were able to create a state health plan, which is now one of the best health plans in the United States. This would not have happened without the support of the Hospital Association in terms of formulating and crafting the plan, let alone, again, the critical urgent backup that DCHA provided when we closed DC General.
When tragedy struck on September 11, 2001, the hospitals of the District of Columbia were called upon in ways no one had imagined. A month later, terrorists struck again, with numerous letters laced with anthrax mailed to addresses in the district. In response, DCHA and its members, together with regional authorities, prioritized and expanded emergency planning procedures throughout the region.
One of the things that when you live in the nation's capital is you see issues about emergencies, possible threats, various things over the many years. So well before 9/11, there was an emergency radio system that had been developed connecting all of the hospitals in case of emergencies, so we could find out whether or not there were empty beds in one facility or an emergency room was closed or open or whatever it might be. And it really became much more apparent on 9/11 that this was an ongoing part of the work of the association and how important it was for the hospitals to work together.
DC Hospital Association has played an essential role in organizing, planning, and coordinating emergency response to disasters.
As part of its commitment to encourage health services research and education, DCHA took the lead in an initiative by the DC Partnership for End-of-Life Care to bring attention to the need for increased respect for advanced directives. With support from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, the partnership was able to advance legislation that enables EMTs to honor advanced directives when responding to calls. With another decade of service behind them, the healthcare system in the district was strengthened through the efforts of DCHA.